the harness industry and, of course, Queen's birthday weekend. Option 709, it's the 6th running of the harness jewels, and the last event is the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings Emerald. In the current market, $6.50 Let's Elope, Ideal Scott $2.20, Smolda at $3.50. Texican has drifted from $7.50 to $8.50. So too Fly Like an Eagle, despite winning on Friday night, 9 out to 10, and Scandalman, the Australian. Terrible draw for him. He's at $9. Across the page, Smo at $61. The 3-year-old Emerald, we're looking at number 2, Ideal Scott, in his performance, winning 3 starts ago. Of course, beating home Scandalman and Smolda in the Northern Derby. Ideal Scott, the son of American Ideal.
A length clear from up on the outside. Texican, Fly Like an Eagle, awaits the passing lane runner. Then followed further back in the field by Let's Elope. Then came Ideal Scott, who's peeling out from the 1 by 1. Further back then is Your Good Fortune with further back High View TJ. Into the straight they come in the Derby. 200 metres to go. Smolda the leader. Ideal Scott's coming after him, and so is Fly Like an Eagle. Smolda, Ideal Scott on the outside may have his measure, and arriving late, Scandalman the Aussie. Ideal Scott wins the Derby. Second over was Scandalman second. Then there's photos for third, Fly Like an Eagle and Smolda, and arriving.
The Northern Derby, and the winner there, Ideal Scott, beating home Scandalman and also Smolda, who will be race day foes on Saturday. Number 10 is Fly Like an Eagle. We're going to take you to the performance on Friday night. Smolda leading up, Fly Like an Eagle in the trail. Let's Elope 3 back the fence, and Texican doing it tough out there. He almost stole the race too. This was last Friday night, but it was Fly Like an Eagle in the trail getting the best trip.
4:50 to go, and the favourite Smolda the leader. They went through the 3 quarters, 1:31 and 1. Smolda by a neck from Texican, dishing it up to the favourite on the outside. Right in behind them, Fly Like an Eagle, then Delight Brigade, then Better's Fire, followed further back by Let's Elope. 200 metres to go. Texican ranged up alongside of Smolda. Now Fly Like an Eagle over on the inside, and Let's Elope is looking for room in behind them. Wider out, State of Affairs. Texican has a lead. Fly Like an Eagle on the inside, and out wide, State of Affairs at the line. Oh, I think Fly Like an Eagle. Fly Like an Eagle in a photo with Texican. Wider out, State of Affairs. And
the New Zealand Derby winner, Fly Like an Eagle. He's won 8 of 18 career starts, the son of Mark, 3 out of a Falcon, Sealster mare. And the interviews now, we're going to hear from Mark Purdon, 3 contenders, and Crandall Getty also with a 3.
Well, Mark, race number 9, the last of the day. Hopefully you've picked up at least one win throughout the afternoon at Cambridge. And, well, the 3-year-olds, look, the big contenders have drawn 1, 2 and 3. Firstly, Smolda, barrier 3.
Yes, yeah, he's a class horse. He's had a good season, and it'll just be interesting what happens early. But you know, he's a very good horse.
Okay. And how's he since his return from New South Wales?
Been good. Looking forward to giving him a run tonight and seeing how he performs tonight. But he's been good at home.
Okay. And Fly Like an Eagle, drawn 2 off the second row. Might not be the worst draw with him. What are you expecting? What are you expecting from him?
I think the mile race will suit him, the distance. He's going to get a good run through from there, so probably an ideal draw for him, I'd say.
And your other runner, Best Deal Yet, Mark, again, a pretty consistent fella?
Yes, he is. He's a nice horse. He's got a great turn of speed, and you know, Blair's got him handy to the pace. Turning in, well, he's got a real good burst of speed.
Better's Creek, Texican and Better's Fire, all barriers 6, 7 and 8. What have you done wrong?
Well, I don't know what's happened there, but if we had 4 in, I might have got a drive in this one. But yeah, that's a bit of a trick. Yeah, it's probably not our favourite, especially when the 2 hot pots are drawn 1, 2 and 3, and so we might be sort of fighting to get a place in this one. But we're not going to take defeat yet, and we're going to give it a go.
Now Texican's been super this time in. What have you made of the other 2, Better's Creek and Better's Fire?
Better's Creek, he's actually a great little horse. He's just, unfortunately, I hate to say, he's just a little step below this top echelon, but he's made his worthwhile to be in this, so we'll make the most of that. And Better's Fire, he's actually a horse that's getting better and better. He's probably not a prime suspect for this race, but he'll be better and better. But anyway, he's going to give it a go too.
So Mark Purdon, Grant Payne, also Crandall Getty with 3 runners each in the final event on the card. Craig, heading to you, this is kept to last, this race, especially because these are the stars of the future.
Well, I think this is a highlight of the day for me, Jess. You have to wait till the last race, but gee, it's an intriguing contest. And the barrier draws have made it that way. Of course, you've got gate speed from 1 and 2 with Let's Elope and Ideal Scott. I talked to Todd McFarlane this afternoon about Ideal Scott, Jess. His workout on Saturday was nothing short of sensational. They reckon they're having a faster last half at Cambridge. 54.2 would be about the quickest you've ever seen. The way he did it and beating Gold Ace was super. Todd said, listen, they've played around with his shoeing. They think they've got him right. He said 2 workouts back this time, beating Mustang Mac at Alexandra Park and then going on to Cambridge and beating Gold Ace last week. From barrier number 2, he's got to go forward from the draw and the form that he showed in the Woodland Stud Derby. He's clearly the one to beat for me, and he's shortened right into $2.40 now as being your dominant favourite. What's Frank Cooney thinking from barrier 1? Well, he's been unlucky in his last couple of starts. Does he think, hey, I think I'll lead from my barrier 1, lock out Ideal Scott and get his chance? Or does he take a trail and get the right sort of run and capitalise from barrier number 1? Frank's got to make the call at the start, and it's a big call because there's going to be pressure in the race. I thought Smolda last week, Jess, obviously we're going to talk to Greg. He's obviously talked to Mark Purdon today. He had a lung infection, a respiratory problem. I understand that Mark's quite happy with him. You go on his run in the Derby is outstanding. He's done nothing wrong this season. If you forgive that run last week, he's a leading contender. It's just not an ideal lead-up 7 days out. Fly Like an Eagle, if the scratching comes out bittersweet from the ballot, he'll end up following out Let's Elope. That may be a lovely draw, won the second row. Of course, he won the Jewels last season in 2011 as a 2-year-old, so he's going to be a very good chance. And Texican, outstanding and running second last week in 240. Greg O'Connor, you could make it 2 or 3 scenarios what's going to happen off the draw here. I'm predicting Ideal Scott will look to dominate in front and try and get across Let's Elope. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, well, he was low flying at the workouts, wasn't he, at the weekend? He really should be heading to the top here and dominating. Todd McFarlane, that's the way I think he should be playing this race. That will give a cracking chance to Let's Elope up the passing lane. The way it's working out, Smolda's probably going to have to sit parked. I said to Mark, were you disappointed? He said, well, clearly I was disappointed last week. They did run some time, though, and he did do a fair amount of work. He said he's brightened up a little bit, and hopefully he'll be 100% on the day. If the Smolda that turned up in the Northern Derby, the New Zealand Derby and then the New South Wales Derby, then he can sit parked and still win the race. He's a great star. He's got to be accorded a terrific chance, provided he can get him back to his peak after that lacklustre run last week. Off the second race, he Fly Like an Eagle's back in the zone. He's going super. That was a fantastic win by him last week. As you mentioned, he's already won a duel. And Best Deal Yet, who could slot into the 1-1 for the entire journey, might be a terrific blowout chance, or at least a first 4 player as well. Scandalman, we haven't talked about. He's been in terrific form as well, Jess. Where's he going to posse up? I can see nothing good for him at all, bar being 3 wide the entire race. So Jimmy Douglas might well have his work cut out. A great contest. It is the ultimate race of the day without doubt, and we've got to wait 8 terrific races before it till we get involved just before 5 o'clock.